On your mark, get set. Let's go.
I can't do it. We'll do it live. Do it live! I'll write it and we'll do it live!
Mister, will you please wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up?
Good morning. Kevin Durant, you should have left California.
This Brownsexual upset me in having to bring this teenage idiot from Wisconsin into a sports conversation. Are you really surprised that the Cowboys are giving up on Ezekiel Elliott?
Whoa. Hell no. Well, no one cares about baseball.
Bitch, are you for real?
And now it's time for the Friday edition of Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson to commence. Well, obviously, I am not the Snowman, but I am the, as you can see, I am the end of what the show is about, Cole Johnson. And with the technical difficulties out the way, thanks be to God that I am back on. It is time to go whip around. Let's do that, please. We start with Michigan. It looks like that the NCAA is looking to get after the program. Yeah, so after Harbaugh was suspended for 3 games for tampering, it looks like sign stealing is what's in the offering this time. Yes, the program is now being investigated by the NCAA, and the news broke yesterday in a Yahoo Sports report, and then it was confirmed by the Big Ten Conference and the media post, because the NCAA bylaw in question is 11.6.1, which states, quote, off-campus in-person scouting of future opponents in the same season is prohibited. Late Wednesday afternoon, the Big Ten Conference and University of Michigan were notified by the NCAA that the NCAA was investigating allegation of sign stealing by the University of Michigan football program. The Big Ten Conference has notified Michigan State University and future opponents. The Big Ten Conference considers the integrity of competition to be of the utmost importance and will continue to monitor the investigation. The conference will have no further comment at this time. Close quote.
Bitch, please.
That adequately describes it. Garoppolo looks like he is going to be out on Sunday's game against the Bears due to the back injury he suffered this past Sunday at home in their 21-17 win over the hapless one-win New England Patriots. Now, during the first half, he went out of the game, and then he was transported by ambulance at halftime from Allegiant Stadium to a local hospital to get evaluated. Now, it's not clear how many games he'll miss, but he definitely will miss this one. Well, we definitely wish you Godspeed, Mr. Garoppolo. I know of back trouble and back issues. They are nothing to play with, just like Wu-Tang Clan. Baylor football coach Art Briles testified yesterday that he had no knowledge of the domestic violence allegations made by a former student against one of his players back in 2014 until she filed a lawsuit in 2016, although members of his staff knew about those claims and reports of other issues involving the former player. Mr. Briles, I just have this to say to you.
Why the you lying? Why you always lying? Oh my gosh, stop lying. Always lying to me. You lying so much. You making it hard for me.
wager was placed, a harmless one, between two teammates Julian Aquara and Amon-Ra St. Brown. Now, of course, Aquara is an alum of Notre Dame. St. Brown is an alum of USC. So they made a bet that in the Saturday's game between USC and Notre Dame, whoever won, the loser would have to wear the mascot of the team's winner. Now, the leading wide receiver of the Lions, which would be St. Brown, and a former USC standout, he paid off the friendly wager by donning a leprechaun outfit, and actually in his Thursday press appearance was adorned in all green and looking all leprechaun-y. He had this to say about paying off the bet. Quote, "We don't do bets in this facility. So we made an agreement. It was outside the facility. So I called J.O., FaceTimed him, and he said if SC wins, he has to beat Tommy Trojan. I said, okay. And he said, if Notre Dame wins, I got to be I don't know what they call this. Whatever this green thing is. I said, sure. So, yeah, we made an agreement outside the facility, and that's that." Close quote. The whatever this is, Amon-Ra, you know what it is. It's a leprechaun, sir. You actually look good, I have to admit. That's what you fools get for betting, I tell you. Saquon Barkley, the New York Giants running back, is saying he does not want to be traded from the team. Now, of course, you know that he, in the offseason, was trying to look for a new deal. They weren't forthcoming, so they decided to strike a deal after, I think he was franchise tagged in the offseason. So they looked for a deal. They scratched out a 1-year deal for this year for $12 million. And he is actually saying to the team he does not want to be traded. Now, the trade deadline for the NFL this year is Halloween Day. Yes, October 31st, or All Hallows Eve. Now, Saquon took to the media yesterday and he said, quote, "Sitting here, everyone knows how I feel. Everyone knows I don't want to get traded. I don't think anyone in their right mind would want to get traded anywhere. It's not an easy thing to do. You have to move. I have a family. I would love to be here. But like I said, it's not in my control. My focus is to be the leader I can be for this team and get this thing on the right track." Close quote. Well, Mr. Barkley, I appreciate your valor, and I appreciate your commitment to the team. I really do, and I'm not even a Giants fan, and I appreciate it. However, you mentioned track, right? You mentioned on track. Well, unfortunately, your team for this year is, I can't put my finger on it. Oh, yeah. The Browns embattled quarterback Deshaun Watson threw passes yesterday in practice. Yes, he returned to the practice field and he threw passes after missing Cleveland's past 2 games with a shoulder injury. Now, during the portion of the practice open to the media, Watson seemed to ease into throwing into practice once again. Early on, he left several passes short and underthrown during warm-up drills with the running backs, tight ends, and receivers, but as practice went on, Watson seemed to settle in and grow more comfortable throwing the ball downfield. He's listed officially, though, as a limited participant. Now, on Wednesday, Watson said that his availability for Sunday is still up in the air as to whether he will play in Indianapolis. He went on further to say the following. Quote, "We just got to continue to take it day to day. I'm not going to put the team in jeopardy if I can't do certain things that is going to allow us to be handicapped in certain situations. That's the reason why I haven't been able to step on the field. Also, another reason why I haven't been able to step on the field, girl. Come here, girl. Yeah, sit down. Yeah, towel. Yeah. I've been working this shoulder out. I've been trying to make sure this thing actually will be in good shape. Because I got to get on the field. I got to get... Oh! Close quote. Tell the truth, Deshaun. You just busy wanting masseuses to still look at you masturbate. And that concludes today's whip around. Breaking, when we come back, we'll take a visit to the Fanatics Feedback Zone, and then we will talk about the ALCS and NLCS. It looks like things are starting to get interesting in both of those series. We will be back right after this.
Everything Boston. I love you morons. You Kids on the Block, New Edition.
Dear whatever the law firm is. Sincerely, the U.S. Supreme Court.
Ben Affleck, Matt Damon. Go yourself again, Jason Whitlock.
Ready to hang with some fellas who know football? Let's ride. LC Muscles 28.
I think they're the most overrated defense in the league.
Steel Sermon.
We did not trail for a single second.
Tiny Tim.
McCarthy is a bonehead.
A Pistol 90.
I'm going with my boys. Fins up, baby.
Get ready for the Four Horsemen of Pick'ems. Every Wednesday night at 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Central on YouTube. Poppy J.
You got the option to cry for the government. You got the option to protest. You got the option to keep buying. But this is also an option.
Wise El Jefe.
We're the first tech geeks. We're the first gamers. We're the first everything. Everything. Like Gen X's, we are the ones.
BS3 Network proudly presents the crew from the New York boroughs who never wants that smoke. Nah, they want that fire. Bobby J and Wise El Jefe, Fridays at 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central. Check your local listings for your viewing and listening pleasure.
Mister, how do you operate this Twitter thing or this Instagram thing or whatever the heck? You're supposed to know all this stuff. Anyway, welcome back to the show.
Welcome back to Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson. And you know the deal. You know the deal. I am Cole Johnson. And later on in the second hour, we will get to the week 7 picks of the 2023 NFL season. And of course, at the bottom of our number 2, we will get to enter the Boom Shakalaka once again. Of course, Chris Bass will be the MC of the shenanigans going on there. Meanwhile, let's get to the shenanigans here. To the Finance Feedback Zone we head. And seriously, Larry was the first one here. He says, good morning to you. I know that, I won't say upset. I know you're maybe a bit despondent that the Phillies took it on the chin last night. But look, they're still up 2-1. And to me, they still look like the best team in the playoffs going in the MLB. RC. And I love the new handles that you got. RC on the Aces, Caitlin in Iowa. He says, yo, I is here. And look, you all showed out at Kinnick Stadium to see the Iowa women's basketball team. Love that. Love that support. Keep that support up, bro. Sig Dickey. gives the vintage good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night. Good afternoon to you all the way from Norway. Jolene, it's good to see you again. And I will pass along the greetings to Brian when he gets here in hour number 2. Las Vegas Aces, back-to-back champs. He says, hello to all y'all. My Aces championship party continues, and it's been going on for, what, now 2 years straight? Well, you all the best of the best. I mean, that's all it goes. That's how it is. Thank you, Jolene. I hope your morning is going well as well. RC says, I'm going to be riding the high of my Aces going back-to-back for quite a while. Well, some will be riding high on them, and some will be some already are, wanting to tear them down and not appreciate the greatness that they're seeing right before their very eyes. Ryan McCarthy, no credentials required. He says, good morning, Snow Crew. You can't pronounce leprechaun? Sheesh. Victor Locke, or VLOCK83, or as many like to call him, He says, good morning all for another episode of Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson. He goes on to say, good morning to the master of the comedic uppercut, the EP of all EPs, the genius behind Cole Sports with the Z. Cole Johnson, thank you, sir. And Ryan talking about Deshaun Watson. He says, what? Did Deshaun pull his groin while throwing said passes, or was it pulled for him? I'll see myself out. Victor, I would say the same thing. Mr. McCoffey, how rude. But how beautiful at the same time. Love it, bro. Keep that fire coming. RC says, Cole, well, I mean, you know Caitlin Clark is an automatic triple-double. Yeah, she is. Yeah, she is. And I really can't wait to see how she actually freaked the WNBA. Because I think her game can actually change this, transform the women's game in the professional level. Final stat line of 34, 11, and 10 outside in cold Iowa. She's a bad woman, man. She's a bad young woman. I'd say that. I say that about her and Angel Reese. And although we have wonderful wonderful professional women basketball players right now, the two hottest women basketball players right now are in college. Caitlin's one, Angel Reese, and LSU is the other. And they might collide again in 6 months. And if so, or 5.5 months. And if so, whoo, the hype will be absolutely off the charts. Now, switching from the hardwood to the diamond. And the Diamondbacks, you like what I did there, they were shellacked when they were in South Philly. They didn't really stand a chance. They basically got drilled 2 games running, and the Phillies looked like the strongest team in the playoffs. Forget National League, just in the playoffs. And I still say they are, even though the Phillies took it on the chin as the series shifted all the way to the desert, 2-1. The Diamondbacks won it, but the Diamondbacks just simply are a pesky bunch. They really believed that it would only take one hit and one clutch pitching performance and one break, and in Game 3, they got all 3 of those. So they won off of a walk-off single by Ketel Marte of off Philadelphia's closer Craig Kimbrell, setting off a wild celebration at Chase Field. Now, it was the D-backs' first NLCS victory in over 20 years. In fact, the last one they had was when they last won the World Series, which would be 2001. And suddenly the Diamondbacks are back in the NLCS, but they still trail 2-1. But they feel as though they do have the confidence to pull it off. Now, going on the hill in Game 4, it looks like it's going to be a bullpen game for them. Christopher Sanchez will start things off, but they have Zach Gallen and Merrill Kelly lined up for Games 5 and 6, so the bullpen better hold things down. But it was a brilliant pitching performance, though, between Brandon Pfaadt and Ranger Suarez, the starter for the Phillies. And then it was decided by the bullpen in the chess match between Torey Lovullo, the Diamondbacks manager, and of course Rob Thompson, the Phillies manager. Seeing that game sort of resurrected memories of the 2020 World Series when in the move that Lovello did, basically pulling Fott out of the game with 2 outs in the 6th. It resurrected those memories when the ace pitcher Blake Snell was removed against the Dodgers, only for the move to backfire. Well, the move there for the Diamondbacks did not. And the sellout crowd of over 47,000 booed loudly. This is the decision once it was done, watching Fott being completely taken off, although he dominated the lineup. And he joined Don Newcomb of the 1949 Dodgers as the only rookies to strike out at least 9 batters without a walk in postseason history. The Diamondbacks, who were only hitting .083 when anyone but Ketel Marte was at the plate, answered right back off of Phillies reliever Orion Krieg when Tommy Pham got his first hit of the series, and he was replaced with pinch hitter Alec Thomas, who used his speed to score on Lode Correa's double in left center. Now, do I think that the Diamondbacks have a chance to actually win this series?
Hell no. To the no, no, no. Hell to the no. Hell to the no. To the no, no, no.
Do I think they can make it competitive? Yes. And I think that's where they're trying to go. I think they're trying to make things tight for the Phillies, make them think, and make them have to strategize more than they would. And the only time I've seen this group of Phillies be put under that pressure was, of course, last year's World Series, when they were up 2-1 against the Astros, but the Astros closed them out, winning 3 straight. 2 of them in Citizens Bank Park. And Game 5 seemed to be one where you could tell the Phillies were actually learning on the fly, so to speak. The Diamondbacks have to put the Phillies in that type of situation. I don't think they have the team to do it. But they're scrappy enough and they believe enough to where they can make it a series. I just don't think they will pull it out, because I really believe the Phillies just have too many weapons going for them. Zach Wheeler and Aaron Nola with the arms for one, Kyle Schwarber, Trey Turner, and definitely Bryce Harper amongst others with the bats. And I just don't think the Diamondbacks have enough to overcome them. Series is 2-1 in favor of the Phillies. And today will be Game 4 of the NLCS between the two clubs. Of course, it's out in the desert, out in Phoenix. They had the roof closed yesterday. I think they will have the roof closed today. I don't see them having the roof open. Even though it's October, I know it's still a steam bath out there. Let me see here. Give me a sec. So here we are, Game 4. The first pitch is at 8:07 on the east and 5:07 out in the west. If I'm not mistaken, I think Arizona is in Pacific time. Yeah. So yes, 8:07 first pitch on the east, 5:07 local time. And that is what's up for that series. Switching over to the American League Championship Series. Now the Rangers were up 2-0. They ruled, and I really do mean ruled. They ruled over the Astros in Minute Maid Park, to the point where the Astros didn't have a lead both games. In fact, the only times they were tied was when it was 0-0 both times. So the Astros just were shell-shocked at Houston. But it looks like the tables have turned, because the opposite has happened in Arlington, where the Astros have jumped on the Rangers early. And for the exception of the bottom of the third when it was tied at 3. The only times the games were tied was when it was 0-0. I don't know how I could describe what took place in the 10-3 butt whooping the Astros put on the Rangers yesterday. The game was, the Astros jumped on them early, scoring 3 in the first. The Rangers scored 2 in the bottom of the second, and they had a Corey Seager homer in the third to tie it at 3. But the Astros loaded the bases up. Yordan Alvarez was up, missed a grand slam by maybe 2 feet. And then, but it was a sacrifice fly, which basically ended up being the game-winning hit, really, basically the game-winning plate appearance, because of course sacrifice flies don't count as a plate appearance. So yeah, the only game-winning plate appearance was Yordan, and then the next hitter, Jose Abreu, decided to deposit a breaking ball that just simply hung right in the middle of the plate, 415 feet into left center field, reaching the second deck. And that made the game 7-3. You tack on Alvarez RBI single that brought in Altuve and a 2-run homer by Chas McCormick. And that gave you the total of 10-3. The Astros blitzed the Rangers starter Andrew Heaney as their first 4 batters recorded hits. And then after Texas responded in kind and chased Urquidy out of the game with 1 out in the third, it then officially became a bullpen game. But it worked for the Astros. It did not work so well for the Rangers. It was just it was amazing. It's amazing to me to watch the Astros seem to have all the confidence behind the plate on the road, but they seem to tighten up at home. And I'm thinking, man, what is up? And maybe the pitching too tightens up a little. I'm not quite sure yet. I know Framber Valdez, I think, is either figured out or he just is having an off year, or at least an off playoff moment, because he just has not been on. He wasn't on the ALDS against the Twins. Game 2 there, he was getting destroyed. And no matter what he threw against the Rangers in Game 2 this series, everything was getting crushed. I mean, as soon as he touched the mound, everything he threw was getting crushed. So I think you have those things happen. And I think you have to, if you're both teams, because now it's a best of 3, you have to say, all right, we probably have to plan for this game that's going to be coming up, which is going to be this afternoon. We have to think the 2 guys that's going to be on the hill today, which would be Justin Verlander for the Astros and Jordan Montgomery for the Rangers. We might have to have them for Game 7 if it goes that far, because seemingly with the starters, those are the 2 best in the series. And I will even say this: Verlander, he was good in Game 1. Joe Montgomery was dealing. He was great, and he's been great all postseason. And if I'm not mistaken, I think he didn't give up a run against the Rays. I think he gave up 1 run against the Orioles, and he did not give up a run against the Astros. I mean, he has been on point every single playoff start this season. And the lefty, if there's something that gives me pause about the Rangers, it's Mr. Montgomery. To me, I think he's the key. He's the key to having the Rangers go to the World Series. Because he is the only consistent arm that has made the Astros go. Because even Evaldi, who he's had a really good postseason too, and he did throw him off guard the first time around the lineup. Starting the second time, it looked like they were starting to get to him, and it looks like he was being sawed by that lineup. But Montgomery, the stuff he threw was fooling all those wonderful bats a third time around in that lineup. That is scary. And although Verlander did get touched up for 2 runs, it was basically 2 bad pitches, really. Outside of that, he seemed to have this similar type of success. I really do think that the Astros and the Rangers are going to have to really dig deep. The bats are going to have to come alive, and the bullpen is going to have to decide this for both teams, because you gotta have the stud starters, obviously the stud aces, show up and show out, but the bullpens are going to have to decide this series, along with the bats for both teams. First pitch of today's game, Game 5, which will be on FS1. TBS will take the Phillies Diamondbacks game. First pitch for the Astros Rangers in Game 5 is 5:07 Eastern, 4:07 in the Metroplex. And yes, I am an Astros fan, but do I think that this is a slam dunk? Because I've heard a lot of people say, well, the momentum's with the Astros. I mean, I've heard people say, well, this is exactly what you needed. The Astros have finally awakened.
Woo! Hell no. To the no, no, no. Hell to the no. Hell to the no. To the no, no, no.
Again, I have seen this play out before. 2019 World Series, where the Astros and Nationals played, and the Nationals jumped on the Astros, winning 2 straight at the juice box. Then the Astros destroying them in Nationals Park, the middle 3, and then the Nationals taking care of business back at the juice box for Game 6 and 7, with Steven Strasburg giving you 8 shutout innings in Game 6. This is an up-in-the-air series because you got both teams that play knockout baseball on the road, but they seem to be able to be touched up at home. Yeah, it's going to be something that I'm looking forward to in the offing. We'll take a break right now, and then when we come back, we will discuss Thursday Night Football between the Jaguars and the Saints. Oh, good Lord. Just the mention of that just makes me yawn. We'll be back right after this. This is Snowman, the Wonderful Cole Johnson.
Attention sports fans, looking for the ultimate gear and apparel to show your team pride? Look no further than Fanatics, the #1 destination for sports enthusiasts. Visit snowmanmultimediasports.com today and shop a wide selection of officially licensed merchandise from your favorite teams and players. From jerseys to hats to accessories to collectibles, Fanatics has it all. Don't miss out on the chance to elevate your game day experience. Head over to snowmanmultimediasports.com/fanatics and gear up like a true fan with Fanatics. Officially licensed everything. Are you ready to upgrade your coffee game? Prepare for an invasion of flavor with Invader Coffee. It's the caffeinated elixir that fuels champions, the blend that pushes boundaries. Whether you're battling deadlines or exploring uncharted territories, Invader Coffee has your back. Join the invasion at invadercoffee.com and taste the difference for yourself. Use the code SNOWMAN for 15% off your first order. Invader Coffee, veteran owned.
Hey, Eagles fan. Join my man Cool McCain and a host of others as they break down every single game, every single week in an objective manner, and also from a fan's perspective as well. Remember, this cast feels just like you. Nobody likes you. And you don't care. Fly, Eagles, fly. Eagles Elite Podcast. Every Wednesday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern on YouTube and other podcast outlets. service announcement from Wise El Jefe.
Boston.
This has been a public service announcement from Wise El Jefe. Back at it on Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson. I am Cole Johnson. I'll be joined momentarily by my partner, but quickly to the Fanatic Feedback Zone we go. RC says, in Philadelphia, Arizona was die on they backs. Now they're back at winning. Good one, RC. I see what you did there. I like that one. Ryan McCarthy says, programming note, we have a new installment of 10 good minutes on the No Credentials Required YouTube channel. That is youtube.com. The @ no creds REQ or CREDS REQ. He says, I'm Ryan McCarthy, and I approve Wise's message, which, of course, he, just like Wise, is a diehard Yankees fan. Speaking of Wise, Mr. Wise El Jefe, my mentality brother, says, good morning, everyone. Thomas Fitzpatrick says, good morning, everybody. And he asked me, how'd you know I was here? I just had that sense, man. And Victor says, good morning to you. I just felt your presence. And yes, look forward to the next installment of Mentality, which will debut Monday. And I'm looking forward to that. But I'm also looking forward to this.
You fool! Give me this camera. Yes, LeBron, it is you. It's always been you. It always will be you. Forever and ever. Amen.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I bring to you the founder of Snowman in the Morning and the CEO of Snowman Multimedia and Snowman Multimedia Sports, the one, the only Brian Snow, a.k.a. Snowman. How you doing, man?
I'm tired. But I feel great.
Good.
Was there a football game last night?
Unfortunately, there was.
Okay. Can we skip over that?
Well, we will in a moment. So the Jaguars, they run their record up to 5-2 with a 31-24 victory over the Saints. And
the Saints play calling was terrible on the final drive. Okay, we covered the game. Next.
Well, along with that, Trevor Lawrence did come back. He did start. He did play. Did decent, actually. 20-29 for 204 yards and a touchdown. And he ran pretty well, actually. He actually led the team in rushing with 59 yards. Travis Etienne Jr. chipped in with 53 on the ground as well, and 2 touchdowns. On the Saints side, Alvin Kamara, yes, there's an Alvin Kamara sighting. 62 yards on the ground, but really could not get anything going.
Sighting? What the hell did I miss?
And he also had 91 yards receiving of the 301 passing yards that Derek Carr threw.
I'll repeat my question. What the hell did I miss?
Well, yeah. So Carr threw for 33-35 for that 301 yards. He did throw an interception as well as a touchdown. The one thing you probably did miss, the final drive where the Saints were in Jacksonville territory. Carr threw an almost gimme touchdown pass to Foster Moreau, and it bounced off his hands.
There is the Saints season in microcosm.
Again, the Saints are 3-4. The Jags are now 5-2, and now they can actually, in their bye coming up. Oh no, I'm sorry. They played the following Sunday, then they go on a bye. They can actually take advantage of the fact that they now rule the AFC South.
And they'll rule it for the remainder of the year.
Yes. Now
they'll rule it for the remainder of the year. Now can we move on?
Now we can move on. We sufficiently covered the game. Your thoughts, sir?
Next.
Next. Okay. Well, I got a next for you.
Okay.
So the NBA is now reconsidering having East versus West in the All-Star game. I love this. I think this is absolutely brilliant. The fact that they decided to do this ridiculous format. Now they're coming back to this East versus West. It should have been this all along type of thing. I'm loving it. Adam Silver has been on the media tour. In fact, he actually sat down, I think.
Adam Silver is on puppet strings, for God's sakes. How many times have I said that on this show?
Commissioner, it's not. But Silver, he sat down Tuesday.
Find the lie. Find the damn lie.
Well, he sat down in the interview, a televised interview with sitting opposite Stephen A. Smith, talking about changes to said All-Star game. As Stephen A. Smith interview said, puppet. And while stopping short of saying any decision has been finalized, he hinted at the current format of top vote getters serving as captains and drafting their own teams may be shelved. And he went on to say about this ridiculous crap.
What the hell do you mean may be shelved? It should have never come to that. I'm sorry. Go on, please.
Quote, maybe a return to something more traditional in terms of how the teams are presented. We went to this captain draft notion, but clearly historically it was East versus West. So that's something we're looking at. Close quote. So apparently it looks like Mr. Silver got a call. Let me see if I can do this correctly. Oh yeah.
Please.
He received a call and it sort of went like this. Hello? Bron, how you doing, buddy? Yeah, everything's good. Everything's good. Well, yeah, anything for you, my pal. Anything. I mean, the league is all yours. You own the league. I mean, you run the league. I mean, you're our top face of the league. Oh, so you don't like that captain crap? I thought you liked it. It had that pickup flavor that you said you guys wanted. Yeah, you and your Banana Boat brethren. Yeah, CP3 and Melo and D Wade. Yeah, when you all got on the Banana Boat, you kicked it, and you said that this was a great idea. Oh, you don't like it anymore? Why not? Oh, you're hearing too many people say it sucks. Okay, got it. Well, this is what I'll do. You're going to dictate to me when I'm okay. All right, so I'm going to go on ESPN, go on Fox Sports 1, go on any other sports media market. I'm going to say that it's going to be going back to East versus West. Okay. Got it. No problem. And one more thing. When can I pull on the joystick? Oh yes. I can't wait for you guys to get to New York. All right. See you. Bye. That's how that conversation went.
I say this to you, Cole Johnson, with all the love in my heart. And thank you for the laugh this morning.
Mm-hmm.
You are an asshole. Knowing that's how the call exactly went. Knowing he was word for word. You understand me? Word for word. That's how the call went. That's exactly how the call went, and that's how the calls have been going for 20 seasons. Find the freaking lie. Why? Where is it? I normally play this on Wednesdays, but today this applies.
This moment of bronze sexual stupidity is brought to you by Hooked on Bronix. When you start talking like an idiotic bronze sexual, Hooked on Bronix can set you right. Call 1-800-YO-KANG. Real LJPM. Now approve all this.
Tell me I'm lying. Tell me why. I know this is Football Friday, but this applies also. Why? Yes, LeBron, it is you. It has always been you. It always will be you. The NBA failure is your fault forever and ever. Amen. There.
Oh, not the NBA
Find the
failure is
freaking
your
lie.
fault.
Find the freaking lie.
Not the NBA failure is your fault. Wow.
Repeating my sentence. As Howie Rose said best on Bartolo Colon's lone home run of his career, repeating. Fine. F this. Repeating. Yes, LeBron, it is you. It has always been you. It always will be you. The failure of the NBA is your fault forever and ever. Amen. Find the lie. And I didn't have any coffee this morning.
Oh, I see. Okay. You didn't have any coffee. Well, I would hate to see how it would be if you did have coffee. Oh,
Find out
goodness.
on Wednesdays.
So this right. So this season's All-Star game.
Most Wednesdays I have to pick up Sonya, bring her home, and then I usually do the show on site because that's normally my run. That's normally my runaround day anyway. And that's usually the day Jody has to go to Indy for her job. So I just tag along and I go up to Indy with her.
All right, gotcha. So yeah, this season's All-Star game is at Indy. So you get to see them up close and personal in 4 months.
Son of a motherless, and I can't be there for it.
Yeah.
Damn it. I'm not covering it. I already told you I'm going to bed. I'm not covering All-Star Weekend. I ain't covering the All-Star game, though I do have to be in Indy in November because I get to work with my dear friend Bill Schoenig for Spurs Radio. In fact, I got 3 games with him this year. But I ain't covering the All-Star game. Y'all can have it.
The league has not yet announced any format changes. Now, the first 66...
And you wonder why.
Mm-hmm.
And you wonder why they have not announced any doggone format.
Now, the first 66 of them have had the East versus West format, but the last 6, though, have seen the leading vote getters from each conference serve as captains who got to draft their own teams. Of course, all 6 times you know who served as one. Giannis Antetokounmpo was one 3 times. Kevin Durant was one twice, and Stephen Curry was once. Now, the last 4 All-Star games have used a target score at the end of games, ensuring that the matchup ends on a made shot. Fourth quarters have been untimed. The winner is the first team to reach whatever the leading team had after 3 quarters plus 24 points. The 24 is a nod to Kobe Bryant's last jersey number.
You already got 24 in terms of the shot clock. There's your honor to Kobe Bryant. You already got 24. Okay? You want to honor Kobe? Put his numbers on the floor, play a full 4 quarters, and if it don't work, you go to overtime. Okay? It's bad enough it's a pickup game as it is. Thank you, LeBron, for that piece of grade A homogenized Holstein. Give me this button. Doggone it. Time
out. The word he's looking for is bull.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Man. Who in the... Why am I asking that question since I already know the answer? Why am I going to ask any questions about the All-Star game since I know the answer?
Now, when they instituted this, the first year of the target score format
was in Chicago.
Right. And it saw a fourth quarter that was incredibly dramatic. Last season's game, however, was almost completely uncompetitive and became a disaster in terms of television
disaster?
ratings.
Did you say
Yes.
a disaster?
Yes, it became a disaster in terms of television ratings.
Pardon me while I stand up and applaud.
Thank
It was ever since.
In part because some of the biggest names,
Just
of
a
course,
minute.
like
Just
the
a
four
minute.
we mentioned, all miss much or all of the All-Star game because of injury.
I will not cuss. I will not cuss. I will not cuss. I will not cuss. Oh, hell with that. Listen, I am going to say this.
Too. Snowman steak.
Roll it. Roll the damn thing. Roll the damn thing. Give me this. The All-Star game blows. All right? It sucks more than these bronze sexuals on bronze joystick every blankety blank doggone minute they get a chance to do so. Thank you for that.
Thank you.
You know I'm going to have to use that now. Back to business.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all will put every piece of money you have into the NBA All-Star game, but you won't do a doggone thing for the WNBA and help them get to where they need to go? You fools. And you got Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese coming in next year, and you won't do anything for them? You fool! Thank you. You had the button ready, and you're going to be pressing it a lot when I make my next set of statements. They go like this. Since 19, I may as well focus on All-Star Weekend before we get to our picks. Let me roll this out right now. The NBA All-Star Weekend blows more than bronze sexuals on LeBron on a daily basis.
Oh my gosh, that's nasty.
Find the freaking lie.
Oh my God, that thought takes.
I told you I haven't had any caffeine this morning.
I'm sorry. I had to do that. Oh, that's a nasty thought.
You know what? And I don't mind that one.
I know you don't.
At all.
I know you don't, but that is nasty. Goodness gracious. I'm sorry. Continue. Whew. Goodness gracious.
The NBA dunk contest has not been the same since 1988. I know there are bronze sexuals that will come to me. I know there are people that will come to me and say, what about 2016? What about 2016? That was flushed down the toilet when you announced the participants in that doggone thing. 2000 was just a showcase for Vince Carter. I loved it. Don't get me twisted. Don't get me wrong. I did. Mm-hmm. But you want a slam dunk competition? Go back to 1988 in Chicago Stadium in front of 18,310. And I was one of them. My dad was another.
Oh,
that was a slam dunk contest. That was a 3-point contest when Larry Bird let the last shot go to beat Detlef Schrempf in the finals, and he put his finger up in the air because he knew the shot was in. Where have we seen that?
In Gilbert Arenas, you can clown the amount of windmills that you saw. It don't matter, son. 22,000 people made your ears hurt because they were enjoying the spectacle that was Dominique Wilkins and Michael Jordan.
Gilbert Arenas, shut the up. Okay? Just shut the ever-loving up about the 88 slam dunk contest because you wish you were in the damn thing. Oh, I forgot. You're a sorry basketball player.
Mm.
And you wonder why the Warriors got rid of your punk.
Ouch. So I guess Mr. Arenas, you want to have like a slam dunk competition like in 2020, between Aaron Gordon and Derrick Jones Jr. and Aaron Gordon. That counts as a slam dunk contest.
That contest blew chunks.
That counts as a slam dunk contest.
Okay. Bitch.
are you for real?
Thank you, Dolomite. And get that point and get that one ready again. That slam dunk contest blew chunks. Okay? End of story. You could put Lisa Leslie, Elena Della Donna, and a couple of others in a slam dunk contest, and they'll put on a better show than these. Where's my button? Than these assholes. I mean, you had to get a G Leaguer to participate in the slam dunk contest last year. What does that tell you? We haven't had a good All-Star weekend since 1988 in Chicago. I said it. I mean it. I will continue to say it, and I will continue to mean it because every other contest since then blows. Every other weekend since then, save maybe the one in Houston, because it was in the Astrodome in front of 60,000 people. Blows! All right? And Gilbert Arenas, while I'm talking to you, why don't you shut the up about slam dunk contests until you grow some and actually participate in one and see how hard it is to participate in one, you stupid.
In other words, my partner is saying,
Shut up, bitch! Oh my God!
You know what? My favorite dunker outside of Michael Jordan and Dominique Wilkins and guys who actually knew the game is Jason Richardson. And he won the contest
you talking about the early
in Los
2000s?
Angeles in 2004 at the Staples Center.
You talking about when he won it a couple times. Yeah.
Yes. The last one to win back-to-back was Jason frickin' Richardson.
Well,
Adam Silver, you've been a puppet ever since you've been in office. 2014 taught me that with the Great Clipper incident. 2016 solidified that opinion. See stimulus package for LeBum James. As my partner furiously types that note. And ever since 2016, I have been PO'd at the way you run the. No, you don't run the league. LeBron does. All right. He's run the. Why? Because yes, LeBron, it is you. It has always been you. It always will be you. The NBA is a failure because of you, forever and ever. Amen.
I'm your puppet. Hey.
Thank you.
I'll do the funny things if you want me to. I'm your puppet.
Yeah, that's Adam Silver to LeBron James. And Lord only knows what those nose board means.
Having to hold.
All right,
darling, you got full control. I'm your puppet.
All right, I've said enough.
You said it.
Until I close with this, until y'all decide and actually keep LeBron, give me this, out the damn boardroom about how to run your league and how to run an all-star weekend. Thank you, Clay. You will continue to lose audiences because you already lost me. And you especially lost me in 2008, i.e., the robbery of the Seattle Supersonics. That's Snowman's take. What's yours?
No, I'm disgusted. But you having nothing to say?
Stop the cap.
Not without cuss words, I don't.
A break, and then when we come back, we will do the picks for Week 7 of the NFL season of 2023, and we have a special guest picker. We'll be right back right after this. Snowman, the Morning with Cole Johnson returns.
Back in a flash.
Where did the time go? I don't know how I got here.
You've done the hard part. You quit smoking. Now do the easy part and get scanned for lung cancer. If you smoked, you may still be at risk, but early detection could save your life. Talk to your doctor and learn more at savedbythescan.org.
If you're talking, they will hear you.
We all want our kids to grow up safe and healthy, so we show them how. And we tell them with honest conversations that let them know what we expect. Not just one time, but every chance we get. That's especially important when it comes to alcohol and other drugs. Kids not only need to know the dangers and how to avoid them, they need to hear it often from you. And when it comes to pain medications, opioids, they need to know that they should never be taken without a prescription and never shared with friends or family. It's dangerous and illegal. So talk with your kids and guide them through the challenges of growing up safe and healthy. Because when you talk, they hear you. For more information about talking with your kids about underage use of alcohol and other drugs, visit underagedrinking.samhsa.gov.
So talk, they hear you. You can do it if you try.
He was only 58 years old when he passed away. That outcome could have been different.
Colorado happens to be one of the worst states for radon levels.
It's in our ground, and it seeps up.
The more you breathe radon, the more chance you have of DNA being hit and the cell mutated. The EPA estimates 22,000 lung cancer deaths a year caused by radon.
We all make choices. When it comes to alcohol, kids make choices whether to drink or not.
Bye, Dad.
Bye-bye.
Remember, I'm going to Alex's party tonight and sleeping over.
Have fun. Hey, have a seat for a second. Remind me about that party again?
Alex is just...
And adults make choices whether to talk about it. That's true of parents and every other trusted adult in a kid's life. Kids want to know our expectations when it comes to alcohol and other drugs. They want guidance and honest answers to their questions. And it makes a difference when the message is consistent and part of everyday conversations. So talk with your kids and help lead them on a positive path. Because when you talk, they hear you. For more information about talking with your kids about underage use of alcohol and other drugs, visit underagedrinking.samhsa.gov.
Mister, how do you operate this Twitter thing or this Instagram thing or whatever the heck? You're supposed to know all this stuff. Anyway, welcome back to the show.
There are some dog games this week.
There are. Welcome to our number 2 story at the moment, Cole Johnson. With my partner dropping absolute stone cold facts. I am Cole Johnson.
Y'all wonder why we don't do all the games? Because for the last 2 years since we've been doing this, each and every week there have been some dog games.
Mm-hmm.
There have been.
I mean, heck, last week we had 2 1-4 teams go at it. So yeah.
There have been some dog games, man.
Mm-hmm.
But we do make our picks.
Yes.
And here we go. Time for the picks. Welcome back to this fantabulous Friday edition of Snowman in the Morning. And I got a full crew with me. Of course, you know Cole Johnson. Our guest picker this week, none other, how do you say it, Cole, than the hardest working man in content creation. His name is the Playmaker, Darnell Solins. Good morning, Playmaker. Thanks for joining us.
I don't know how I got talked into this. I don't know how I got talked into this.
I'm doing fine, Playmaker. That's wonderful. I'm glad you asked.
And of course, our senior NFL advisor, now with us in his 7th season, the one and only Mike Debate. Good morning, Mike. How are you?
I'm doing well, Brian. Thanks so much for having me. Always an honor. Always a privilege.
All right. Let's do this thing. And we're going to start at Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis, Indiana. The Cleveland Browns, coming off of a big win, are laying 3 at Indianapolis. against the Indianapolis Colts. I'll start with the playmaker. Your thoughts?
Gardner Minshew coming off his ugliest performance as an NFL quarterback this past weekend down here in Duval County.
Mm-hmm.
Now he's back on and dealing with a team who is feeling pretty good about themselves because some L's beat some Niners.
Yes, they did.
The ALCS, both these divisions are still wide open, surprisingly.
Mm-hmm.
Give me them L's.
Oh, it's taking the Browns. Cole, to you.
All right. Well, I will push back just ever so slightly on Playmaker's claim that Gardner Minshew's last start was the worst of his NFL career. Week 17 at home when he was with the Eagles against the Saints, I think would be worse.
Yeah.
But that's history. The Browns are flying high. I mean, you can't really have a better victory than the one the Browns had. You know, you have a team that's undefeated. You have a team that I know they heard in the locker room all that week saying that, well, you won't have a chance to beat this team. This is a Super Bowl contender. You don't have your starting quarterback. You don't have your starting running back. There's no way you could beat them. So of course they heard that, I'm sure, all week long. And they probably heard a little bit the week before since they were on a bye. And they were motivated, and they probably played their best game in years.
Yeah, they did.
I can actually see a letdown coming, and the reason why I say that is you have that plus you have the Colts, who the team came off of their worst performance of the year.
Yep,
and I think they want to prove something, especially at home, since they finally got a win at home the last time they were in Lucas Oil Stadium. I go with the Colts.
I go the same way for the same reasons that Cole listed. A letdown is coming for the Cleveland Browns after their biggest win of the year, and the Colts are going to clean up their act at Lucas Oil Stadium. I'm going to take the Colts, and I'm going to take the points. To Mike Debate we go. Mike?
Yeah, I'm taking the Colts as well for the same reasons that Cole described. I think you expunged that much energy beating a team that really everyone expected to lose last week. Not so much as a knock for the Browns, but mostly because the 49ers are a juggernaut that everybody believes is Super Bowl bound. You're bound to have a letdown in that situation. I think Gardner Minshew has something to prove this week. I'm not saying he's going to go out and light the world on fire, but I think he's going to have this team ready to can make noise in this division and in the AFC if they need be. So I take the Colts in this one. I think it's going to be a razor-thin margin, but I think they're going to be able to bounce back, and I think they're going to have a good
Yeah.
To M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore with a 1 o'clock kickoff. The Detroit Lions taking on the homestanding Baltimore Ravens. Detroit 5-1 on the year, and it's Baltimore laying 3 at home. I'll start this round by saying I will take the Lions to score the upset in Baltimore, and I am taking the points. The Lions are playing very, very well, and that's the understatement of the year. Jared Goff is lighting things up in the NFC Central Division, and this is a matchup between a couple of budding powerhouses. The Lions are finding their way with Dan Campbell. Dan Campbell is the reason the Lions have turned their season around. I go with the Lions, and I am taking all 3 of those points, and I'm calling for the straight-up win. Michael?
Yeah, I'm going with the Lions, and I'm calling for the straight-up win as well. Look, I think this team right now is playing at a level where they feel that they can hang with anyone, and regardless of where they fall in the standings, regardless of what's going to happen, they believe that they can win any game. Baltimore right now is a team that can definitely give them some fits. There's no question about it, but I like the way Detroit's playing, and I think they take this.
To Cole Johnson we go.
I think it's time for us to consider Jared Goff an MVP candidate. I think it's about time we do. I really do say that because you need to have that solid play from the QB to have the performances that the Lions have turned in week after week. Mm-hmm. Because if you all don't know, starting 1-6 last year, so from then, the record the Lions have had is 13 up and 3 down. So This isn't just it looks like they're having a fluke of a time. No, they are building momentum. Meanwhile, I look in Baltimore, and they're 4-2, and they've had some impressive victories, but the 2 L's that I've seen them have, it just makes me think, wow, that offense is so inconsistent that it could just simply bite them in the butt at key moments. And the 2 L's, that's the case. I mean, they lost to the Colts at home, and they lost in Pittsburgh with either a key pick or a loss on turnover downs or a key sack. And I can see that happening in this game. I also picked the Lions.
All right, Darnell, finish it off.
I'm with the purple birds.
He's going with Baltimore.
The same reason why y'all went with the Colts. The same reason why I'm going Baltimore.
All right, let's go to Tampa. The new sombrero we like to call Raymond James Stadium. 1:00 kickoff. The Atlanta Falcons and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Tampa Bay laying 2.5 at home in a matchup of teams that are still trying to find an identity. Who makes the least amount of mistakes in this game will determine who wins the game. And I'm in a visiting mood. I'm going to go with the Dirty Birds. I'm going with the Falcons. I'm going to take those 2.5 points, and I'm going to call for the straight-up win in Tampa. Baker Mayfield or no Baker Mayfield? Michael, to you.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Falcons as well, Brian. I think the supporting cast around them is a little more conducive to the team than the Bucs are to defend the Falcons. Probably going to be an ugly one, probably going to be a little bit more in the trenches than both of these teams would like to play in. But at the end of the day, I think Desmond Ridder is able to get it done over Baker. I like the Falcons in this one.
Darnell, it's to you.
This game is played in where?
This play is in
It is playing in Tampa.
Playing in Tampa.
Tampa. Atlanta don't win on the road.
Cole, finish it.
Well, that spoils my thought. I was going to say the same thing. Tampa takes this. The Falcons are over on the road. That continues Sunday.
All right, let's go to the 4:00 games. We start at 4:05 in Los Angeles with the Los Angeles Rams taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers, and the Rams are laying 3 at home. Again, I mentioned teams trying to find an identity. The Steelers have not found their identity yet. The Rams are good. The Rams are sneaky good. I'm going with the home team, and I'm going to lay the points. Playmaker?
So we have Pittsburgh coming off a bye week, in which they are the 32nd offensive ranked in the National Football League.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that offense is wonderful, yes.
That offense is...
They are 31st in passing, and they are 31st in rushing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're a hot mess on offense.
That's the truth.
And those of you who watch Raymond Talk, you know who I'm going with. Give me my boys at home to defend home field.
Yeah.
So, yes, the playmaker is taking the Steelers.
Michael, it's yours. Yeah, I'm going to go with the Rams as well. I think their defense played well in the victory over Arizona last week, and I know that Pittsburgh's coming off a bye, but I think Los Angeles rides the hot hand. Matt Stafford, his receivers, they'll be able to figure out a way to stymie that defense a little bit. And again, they're a much better offensive team, so I like the Rams in this.
Cole, finish it.
Playmaker, help me out. When they played against the Cardinals Sunday, was the running game solid there?
Carry-on wins 20 carries, 158 yards on the ground with a touchdown.
That's what I thought. Steelers.
Averaging 7.9 yards.
That's what I thought. Steelers. Because for whatever reason, the Wunderkind seems to remember he has a running game one Sunday, and he seems to forget he has one the next. And when he forgets he has a running game, that's when the team tanks. And
you might have your wish because we're gonna be out Carry-on Williams and Ronnie Rivers.
Right. Wow. It's not a wish. That's just how they've been flowing. Because the Rams, to me, the Rams have the better talent. Unfortunately, they just are so up and down. It's ridiculous. And the Steelers, they find a way to win these types of games where it's like, how in the world did you pull that out?
Sean McVay run the ball so TJ Watt doesn't wreck the game.
Because he will. And I think that's the big key right there. Thank you, Playmaker. TJ Watt is going to wreck shop, and you better pray Matthew Stafford can walk off the field come game time being over. So I pick the Steelers.
All right. Let's stay with the staying with the 4:00 game. Let's go to the 4:25 game at Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City. It's Chargers Chiefs week. The San Diego Superchargers taking on the Kansas City Chiefs. Chiefs laying 5.5 at home.
And yes,
Brendan Staley's
the teams in Los Angeles.
That's all I have to say. Give me the Chiefs, and I'm laying the points. Michael?
Yeah, give me the Chiefs, and I'm laying the points as well. Look, I'd love to pick the Chargers. I spent a few years covering that team.
Right.
Organization's always been very good to me, but Justin Herbert did not play well against the Cowboys. That doesn't bode well. The Chiefs are a better team on both sides of the ball. Patrick Mahomes gets it done, and I think they take it. And I don't think it's particularly that close.
I don't think it's close either. Cole?
Well, it's great when we have the Chiefs and the Chargers play. Of the other divisional rivals, the Chargers seem to give the Chiefs the most problems. Yeah. When they play in SoFi, I think it's a wonderful game. It always comes down to what? Oh, the game's at Arrowhead. Oh, I'm sorry, Chiefs.
Yep, the game's at Arrowhead. Playmaker, do you make this unanimous?
See, I couldn't be on Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
So when I was on last week, and Cole can vouch me, what did I say? Well, because we were messing with Victor as I always do. But what did I say? Y'all playing Brandon Staley, you might end up getting a W because of him.
Yep.
Lo and behold, the Cowboys got W because of Brandon Staley.
Yeah.
Yep.
You get a W because of Brandon Staley. Yeah.
Because of Brandon.
And then that's exactly why I picked the Cowboys too, because of that very reason.
Taylor Swift, no Taylor Swift in there.
That was the reason.
That was the reason. So we're all unanimous with that one. Sunday Night Football in Philadelphia. The Miami Dolphins taking on the now once beaten Philadelphia Eagles. Dolphins getting 2.5. Eagles laying 2.5 at the link. It's going to be even closer than that. The question I have is, which Jalen Hurts will show up? Is it the one that can be precision sharp in leading the offense, or is it going to be one that played timid against a team they should have beaten in the New York Jets? That is the major question that we get. And that question is,
will that dog?
Well, we will return right after this. Unfortunately, we had some technical difficulties. And when we come back, Snowman will join me, and so will the man known as Chris Bass. We'll be right back. This is Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson.
Everything Boston. I love you morons. New Kids on the Block, New Edition.
Dear whatever the law firm is. Sincerely, the U.S. Supreme Court.
Ben Affleck, Matt Damon. Go yourself again, Jason
Join the transporter to Hades.
Your butt and gut becomes one.
Join the reformer of hooker whores.
This is my daughter, Placenta Booty Johnson.
Join the bronze claw.
Whenever you are in distress, take off your baseball cap and throw it in the air.
Join your very own superhero of broadcasting, Chris Bass.
So whatever color crayon they get, they palm it and do 2 circles, and that translates to I can beat up black people.
As he takes you through the week's paces in Baseline. Live every Saturday at 8 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Central, Pacific Time Zone people, just stay asleep when this is on live and just catch the recording. Oh, I'm sorry. exclusively on the Chris Bass YouTube channel. Ready to
Negro, you walk through this office building every day. You know what the fire alarm look like. I don't want to hear that.
Oh my
is wrong? Like you got. I wish you had that button right now.
Got me
with this bull. You got a motherfucker thinking from New York can't read. Don't know red means fire alarm. Like you seen it says don't pull or pull in case of emergency. There was no emergency. Like oh my God.
Keep
Let me calm
cooking.
down. Let me calm down. Let me calm down.
Keep cooking.
This dude is really a yo.
Keep cooking.
I'm wondering why you even brought this up, man. Like this is not news. This is not news. This is some stupid trying to make a power play, and he came out looking like a dumb. This is all that is. Well, let me try to delay this. I'm late. Negro, put up. You need to speed up your watch or something, or put your alarm set so you can leave 20 minutes earlier. I don't know, but pull a fire alarm. Yo, you were just giving New Yorkers a bad name with this dumb, stupid. Like really.
'Cause we take this job so serious.
The is that? Sorry, pardon me. My apologies.
What in the all types of blue hell?
This is Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson.
Most certainly is. And I'm sorry for that technical glitch. I don't know what I don't know what happened. I pushed the button over here. I got the last graphic ready.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden, poof. But we are back live. And just to finish off the picks, we all picked San Francisco to beat Minnesota. And Frisco's laying 7 on the road in Minnesota. I don't think it'll even be that close. That's an 8:20 start. In Minnesota. Paul Allen is going to be, and y'all know I make fun of Paul Allen, but I absolutely love what he does. The fabulous voice and longtime voice of the Minnesota Vikings.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to be quite disappointed come Monday night.
Mm-hmm. It's like that.
Well, think about it.
Mm-hmm.
They came to Santa Clara after a miracle win in New Orleans, beating Drew Brees. And what happened? They got punked.
No, that's true.
2 years ago, went to Santa Clara, played him again, had a lead after the end of the first quarter. What happened?
He got demolished.
Now they get to face Christian McCaffrey.
And an angry 49ers team that
very, they face an angry 49er ball club.
That suffered its first loss of the season. Mm-hmm. Okay. Mm-hmm.
Even though they're still at the top of the rankings with Philadelphia, with Miami, with Detroit. In fact, I just said my first 4. I didn't get a chance to do my top 10 yesterday. I will do it today as I have to rearrange my schedule and push my orientation to Monday because I am not fully prepared. But I'd rather be fully prepared going into my new orientation, working as a home health aide, than to try to half-ass it. Thank you, Dad. I'm just not gonna half-ass do it. Sound familiar?
Mm-hmm.
What does your dad always tell you? The same thing my dad always tells me. If you're going to do something, don't half-ass it.
Don't have.
I swear to God, if your dad and my dad ever had a chance to have a conversation, all we'd have to do is just sit back and soak it all in.
Because my father darn sure said that to me a few times.
Don't half-ass it. You can't.
Yep.
You can't. Because the only person that's going to suffer is you.
Mm-hmm.
And I just emailed my boss and I said, look, I got some things going on here. I need the weekend to complete my orientation. This is an upgrade and a job for me. This also involves a raise, and I'm not going to half-ass it. Period.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Besides, I can take these skills west, and I'd rather have them in complete form. Speaking of complete, let's complete this Friday.
And now, the transporter to Hades, the reformer of hooker whores, and the bronze god, the one, the only, the legendary Chris Bay.
Y'all know we can't finish off a Friday without having Chris Pace with us. The bronze god is here himself, the legendary Chris Pace, and our dear friend is with us. Good morning, Chris. Great to have you back.
Good morning, Rain Man. Good morning to the mad scientists. Of course, shout out to Wise All, and for all the boys and girls in the comment section there. Good morning, good afternoon, and a good morning, boom shakalaka to you.
All right, Pace. Cut it loose.
Well, first,
what is on your mind, sir?
Well, thank you, mad scientist. The first and foremost is I was watching earlier about the NBA All-Star format,
mm-hmm.
and I had to get a good look at Rain Man. And I've known, how long have I known your ass now?
Almost 20 years.
Yeah, 17 years.
What I always say is too long to know somebody. So I've known you for that long, and then I realized how you were when we first met.
Yes.
Now, Cole, when did you meet Brian?
2007.
Met him about no.
2017. 17.
Yeah. But it was about almost 7 years ago.
Okay, you got the broken in version of what you see right now. I had the earlier version when he was bouncing all over the place. He was happy-go-lucky. He had a smile on his face every goddamn day of the week, and he was just happy to be there. We worked back at PSI Radio.
Yes.
And compared to this person now, night and day. night and day.
Wow.
See, for example, when we worked together the time that we did,
mm-hmm.
it dawned on me watching him now and going back to how he used to be. Mm-hmm. You know, it had that, I don't know, however, depending on your family dynamic, it's that annoying little brother who gets on your last one, and your mother's like, okay, take your brother to the store with you, make sure you don't get hurt, don't anybody beat him on him. And I'm like, get off me, man. I ain't got time for you. Oh, come on, Chris, let's go. Man, get the hell, man, that type of thing. So Brian really was my little brother the time we were on a big sports show. It's like, hey, Chris, how you doing? Man, get the off me, man. I ain't got time for this. Let's gotta do this damn show and leave me alone, man. Come on, man. We're gonna talk about, man. One more time here. One more time. I'm gonna go up. I'm gonna give you the elbow, man.
And in 4 words, I offer no argument.
Right. I'm like, dude, he was. It's like
PSI was my first big chance since I left Chicago State.
Mm-hmm.
Right, and it was. I admit this aloud, and I will admit it every day of my life. I have changed a lot since I met Bass and how to handle radio and handle my duties and everything. And you're right, it is night and day.
Literally,
you are my
brothers.
Yeah,
I'm happy to admit that. I am very happy to admit that.
I wasn't happy in the beginning. I ain't sitting here lying, man. Because I thought you were the phony, faking, the fraud.
Wait a minute. Hence the Negro be lying clip that we.
I did say that. Yes,
you did.
Mm-hmm.
Cause we take this job so serious.
Man, I went home that day and talked to my wife Vicky, and Vicky was like, "What's wrong with you? You pissed off?" Yeah, I got this partner I'm working with back in the radio station. The Negro be lying. What in the all types of blue hell?
Yes, it's Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson.
I was just so excited to be.
Yes, you were.
I was over the top. Listen,
that excited, Chris?
Yes.
Let me tell you how excited I was. I can combine a sporting event and a life event to tell you how excited I was. Okay. The sporting event I can give you is the Bulls winning one of their championships. The life event I can give you is seeing my daughter Donna be born. That's how over the top excited I was. And I swear to you all, I thought Base was just going to pin me against the wall and let me have it and just cut loose. And thinking about that and the way Base put it, I would have deserved every single punch that he would have given me.
I ain't gonna sit here in front, Doctor. I thought about it a lot.
I know you did.
I really did. And so I'm not prone to violence. I'm really not.
Right.
But I came this close. So we've been in the studio together, and he would literally bounce off the walls with excitement. And I said, he has to have Similac behind the ears. I mean, it has to be a new experience for him. Just the way he operates, and we've all been there. So I can't. At the time, doubt. I can't knock him for it. It's a great opportunity. It's exciting. It's different.
And it's
the dream coming true.
And PSA was brand new. And as I said, that was my first opportunity since I left Chicago State in 2004. And like I said, if Bays would have pinned me against the wall, I'd have taken every single punch, and that probably would have knocked some sense into my head. I
don't want any. Yeah, go ahead.
That is May. I also had my dad to deal with, and given the fact that same year my dad admitted to us that he was battling prostate cancer, it was about that time where it really sobered me and really got me to focus and really got me, hey, you can't bounce off the walls, because I can tell you that night and day switch came on after Dad told me what he was going.
Oh yeah, it definitely would do it. It sort of reminds me of when Jamie Foxx interviewed Denzel Washington. I forgot the platform it was. And Jamie talked about the day that he actually met Denzel, and Denzel has and Jamie says Denzel has this special handshake for when people get a little too close on him. So he says so he got to the dap position, and all of a sudden Denzel actually pinned his elbow right up against Jamie's larynx.
That was Base to me.
I can picture you doing that.
That was Base to me until I came in one day almost in tears, and that was the day after I found out what Dad was going through, and I gotta tell you, I nearly called off that day.
I remember that now. It was one of those things, but prior to getting the news about your father, no, I'm not going to pin you up against the wall, and we don't need no more black on black crime. We don't need that. And the thing about it was, I knew you would figure it out in time. And you didn't need me to check you, something like that, because again, knowing your talent after the Negro be lying, when I found out the nigga be telling the truth, when I got to that echelon of what you were saying, I said he has a talent. That's what I was saying to my wife. I said he has a talent. It's Rain Man. It's something altogether damn near unworldly. So once I realized that, I figured, okay, let him bounce off the walls all he wants to. He'll figure that on his own. And you have, of course, amalgamated into a dynamic host. Play-by-play is on point. When you're able to let yourself grow, not grow as a human being, also grow as a talent, just let it, mature the way it does. You can tell the difference. So I got a kick out of watching you being old man Rain Man earlier about the NBA format, and because you ran about a lot of stuff. Because I'm like, he don't like anything, and I'm like, I can't say anything. I don't like anything that much myself either. So it's like two old black Negroes waving their fists in the air, talking about, "Get off my lawn, you kids."
When you've been spoiled by greatness for many, many years, what's going on today just don't cut it. That's as simple as it gets.
I try, and I give credit when credit due, because again, just like anything else, we were younger once, and we had to
Right.
fight for our right, for us to be different, and the whole generational gap. You don't hear the crazy anymore generational gap anymore. That's what it used to be, and believe it still is. But I think like anything else, you take it with a grain of salt. You check it out. I try to be fair. If I don't like it, I don't like it. If I like it, I like it. Let me say this before I move on, because usually sometimes I'll do movie recommendations. I urge you, when you have time, please check out The Burial. Jamie Foxx and Tommy Lee Jones on Prime Video. It is must-see TV. To me, it's the best performance by Jamie Foxx probably since Ray. And that's been a long time.
Wow.
And he was that good at it. Him and Tommy always bring it, and so does Jamie Lee Foxx. But Jamie Lee Foxx being the lead in this movie, he brings it. So you gotta check it out. The Burial on Prime Video. Jamie Foxx and Tommy Lee Jones is must see. I'll tell you, you get a kick out of it. It's best performance. I'm telling you.
All right, must see.
So
okay, so we will check it out.
So I think what happens with certain people, the ego gets in front of them. So of course, we find out about USC's Caleb Williams wants partial ownership, but whatever team drafts him. Now let's back the truck up for a second.
Please, I heard that.
Please.
I think Team Caleb Williams realizes what's at stake here. Of course, you're making all the money in the world that you're doing right now with NIL. I don't begrudge you that. Get all the cash you can.
Exactly.
Get that money.
Exactly. But I think that when you're talking about going into a team that is brand new to you and to them, because all a new experience before you get there, I think is a little bit too. I think you're hedging your bet a little bit too much to ask for a partial ownership. I just think that's a little bit out of pocket. Now, whatever the deal is behind the scenes, maybe that's to get attention, maybe get something else, maybe, I don't know. But when you come out talking about partial ownership to a team that's already obviously been established, you want partial ownership, that's not the way to go. I mean, if I was part of this team or team Caleb Williams, that's the one thing we were not going to do. We're not going to ask for partial ownership. You're already going to be the number one spot. Take that and we'll build upon that. You're guaranteed. So it's not like you have to say these things to build up in the numbers of the draft to try to get yourself up there. You're number one. So why ruin it? And again, ego, team, putting words in people's ears like this situation, say I want partial ownership. It don't look good. It doesn't look good at all. It's like, why in the hell are you asking?
Yeah, I think that's where it is right there. It's you mentioned earlier breast smell like Similac and wet behind the ears. If that isn't a wet behind the ears and breast smell like Similac type of situation scenario, that what I don't get is there isn't someone wise enough to say to him, man, you can't be coming out the side of your neck saying that. Chill. Now,
and no one has said that to him yet.
Yeah,
no,
chill.
In fact,
Now
they're doing the exact opposite.
Now you might have you might have a wonderful situation where what happened with Magic Johnson 4 decades back, where he ingratiated himself to the team and to the owner, where in the contract that he negotiated, the first contract he negotiated with him, he did get partial ownership.
Yeah,
but if that's going to happen, it's going to have to be the owner doing that to the player, and more than likely, that's not going to happen.
No, it's not. It's not. And again, to piggyback off of the point that you guys made of being wet behind the ears, he's already the front runner for the Heisman Trophy. I'll talk about that on Monday because there's a candidate no one's mentioning. But he's already a front runner for the Heisman Trophy. He's got all the spotlights on him. He's making all this NIL money. And now he thinks he can command, because that's not a request. That's a command.
That's correct.
That's not a demand. That's a command. That he can just come in and command partial ownership of the team that he plays for. Pump the brakes a little bit and prove yourself first. Okay? It was way different back in 1979, as Cole mentioned, when Magic Johnson negotiated his contract with the Lakers, because the Lakers weren't really established. They had just signed Kareem Abdul-Jabbar away from Milwaukee, and they needed that extra face to really put them in the limelight. And Jack Kent Cook, who was the owner of the who was the owner of the Lakers at the time, was really thinking forward and saying, how can we keep this guy ingratiated with the team, with Los Angeles, and in the community? And that's how he got partial ownership. Let's say Caleb Williams is not drafted by a team in Los Angeles. Let's say Caleb Williams is drafted by the Washington Redskins. All right, let's throw that out there. Shut up. Will he make the same demand and command that he did now that he's with what he's doing now, playing at USC? Let's say a team, I'll go all the way there, like the New York Jets, draft him. Will he make the same points in New York that he did in Los Angeles? So the location, what they always say, location. That's going to play a part as well. If he's drafted by either the Rams or the Chargers, then he's going to push the pedal to the metal with that point. It's going to depend on the team that drafts him, and the team that drafts him had better tell him, pump the brakes a little bit. You still have a lot to prove, because he's going to be a high draft pick. Will he be the number one pick? We don't know. We won't know until April. But there's a lot of pumping the brakes that needs to be done right now with Caleb Williams developing the attitude that he has, and this is after he laid an egg at Notre Dame.
He did lay an egg in that game.
And also got to take into consideration, how much money he's going to amass will be his net worth. It doesn't have to be an NFL team. It could be a USFL team. It could be a Canadian team.
Yep.
Hell, he could outright own his team in another league.
Yes.
Right. And so get your feet wet into ownership, not just partially, you probably own the whole team.
Yep.
Depending on what you're going
Somewhere
after.
else, yeah.
Yep.
Exactly. So the NFL is a good goal, but I think it's start off, with baby steps. So if your goal is ownership, look into other leagues and see. You don't have to be football; it can be other teams and other sports and anything else, and get into that, and then get your feet wet, and then down the road you play some years in the NFL and amass some more money, and then rejoin that conversation. But right out the gate, hell no. Now, we ain't looking your way, Doc. You supposed to get on the field and get W's, right?
Like you say best, Base. Hell nope. We're not looking
to happen.
It's not going to happen, and it shouldn't happen either. What has he done to merit partial ownership in the NFL when he's not even in the NFL yet, and he comes out the side of his neck talking like that?
My dad always told me, a young man dreams, an old man sees visions. So I'm old now, so I see a lot of visions. So when I was younger, I saw dreams. And so the same thing with Caleb Williams. It's a lot of dreaming. Nothing wrong with dreaming.
Right.
If you're able to make the dream a reality, then go for it. But this particular situation is null and void on the table. Another thing I wanted to bring up was the NCAA investigation, Michigan football amid allegations of sign stealing and things of that nature. Now, once again, I'm a casual fan. I know the basics, but I always know that for some reason, when the NCAA comes a knocking, what is behind the door, or door number 1, 2, or 3? And if I didn't know any better, once again, these people, I know these people, all walks of life. A lot of people walk the earth are very petty people. I mean, extremely petty. Will hold a grudge to the day they die.
Forever.
Then they take a dirt nap. And they hold it with their cold, dead hands all the way to the grave. Look at, again, going back to the NIL. I think a lot of people behind the scenes are seething over that. It's like, how dare they make money? They have 3 hots in the cot. We're giving them a scholarship, even though they eat ramen noodles every day, something like that. They should be happy with that.
Yep.
And so now these athletes are making money on the field, on the court, or wherever. I think a lot of people behind the scenes for the NC2A are seething, can't take it. So let's be petty and let's go investigate. Now, I know it sounds far-fetched, but it wouldn't surprise me. Look at the whole timing of the whole thing.
It wouldn't surprise
me. Like I said, when I read the article, look, what you talk about buying a ticket, going to the game, and all of a sudden against NC2A rules.
Mm-hmm.
I don't look. I don't read the manual and everything else, but again, stealing has been gone since the beginning of time.
Yep.
Even going back to who I think should step down is Bill Belichick of the Patriots. Look, Deflategate, all that stuff was happening years ago. My thing is this: if you're a great team, and I do say the word great, if you're a great team, there's no need to cheat.
There's no need to steal signs. There's no need to cheat in any way, shape.
Exactly.
And those two incidents are just two of several that highlights Bill Belichick's career.
Right. And you go back now to this whole investigation with Michigan, and Michigan said we're going to comply. We're going to help with the investigation and things like that. And even I think Jim Harbaugh, the coach, said this is new to me. So don't get me wrong. If it was in the rule book, you got it. But it's not like everybody knows it from the beginning, the middle, and end. Unless you have a photographic mind like that. It just seems to me that it's just called for more pettiness from the NC2A. That's how I feel about them, because again, for years, as we all know, they, meaning the NC2A, did not want to pay any athletes any money whatsoever. They were defiant. They had the money. They wouldn't miss it. They're defiant. Now that is happening, I think a lot of people still PO'd, and they're going to find their ways to justify their authority, because they can't stand the fact that they're giving them money or having them have the opportunity to make money. And say once again they made money on the field from the college or university. Again, you're making so much, you're not going to miss it.
Right.
You're not going to miss it. I mean, really.
Making money hand over fist. Anyway, they are making money hand over fist, which brings me to this, and this is a point I brought up earlier in the week. Since the NCAA are making money hand over fist, why can't the women play their Final Four in stadiums? Why are they still forced to play their games in arenas?
I think part of it is still sexism. I really believe that. It's sad but true. If we have racism, we still have sexism. We still all types of isms that certain people in power project. And there is no reason why female sports in general cannot be up there with male sports. But again, if somebody's putting the knee on your neck and keeping you in your place to make sure that you do the bare minimum, that's what we're going to do. Until you have new people coming in there with more ideas, more open-minded, not the way things used to be, the way things should be. You get more people like that involved in higher position of power, then you will see change.
And it's going to take that. It's really going to take that. And again, it goes back to a point we made earlier about the NCAA making money hand over fist. If you want proof that I'll use women's college basketball as an example. If you want proof that women's college basketball can draw, take a look at the crossover at Kinnick Stadium, 55,246. That's the bottom line number you should look at right there. Never mind what they brought in at the gate. Never mind what they brought in for concessions. Never mind any of that. Look at the bottom line of 55,246 for an exhibition game. Now, Lord only knows what you can draw, because the women already have an advantage. They're hosting their tournament games on campus of the higher seed, which is only going to feed into the fandom even more, which I absolutely love. And that's something the men should do. When you get to the Final Four, that's when you have it in big stadiums like Lucas Oil in Indianapolis, like State Farm Stadium in Phoenix, Arizona, which is where this year's Final Four is going to be. Hell, you could have it at one place every year, and you know it's going to sell out. Like, I don't know, Las Vegas, Allegiant Stadium. They got a roof over it. You can bring it there. But you're right, Base. There's a lot of sexism still involved in the game today, and unfortunately, and this is from a fellow who's covered women's basketball for almost 3 decades, it won't advance until the right people, as you said, are in place and they actually progressively think forward in putting the product out to the masses, because they have to put the product out to the masses. And again, I go back to what happened in Iowa City last Sunday, 55,000 plus. That's easy to happen.
Fandom is fandom. And I would tell other people out there, don't discourage. Don't put your head down. Keep loving the game. Keep loving the games that you love. because the more you love it, the more people have to acknowledge it.
Right.
And again, going back to you said about the 55,000 fans, numbers don't lie. And when people talk about numbers and money and things like that, all right then. So if you bring in more numbers, more money, they're going to have to recognize you and acknowledge you and make changes of that nature. Because other than that, just been talk and BS, or they can't have the ability to shut down or have a mass crowds at these functions. And they've proven it over and over again. But again, it's going to the wrong ears. When you get the right ears in there that see what's going on, then again, like I said before, changes will be made and changes for the good, not for the fact that somebody who's still stuck in, I don't know, the 19th century.
Right.
We don't need that.
We don't need that at all. Chris Bates joining us here as he does every single Friday. And boy, did we make some points today. We love you, Bates. Thank you so much for coming on this morning as you do every Friday. We love you, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Well, there, you stole my line. It's a good line to steal. So, yes, I love you more. Ain't a damn thing you can do about it. It's too late. Thank you all for having me here every Friday. Please join me for Baseline. For those of you up, you get up, you wake up, you scratch, go to the bathroom. And if you happen to be near a computer or a laptop or this type of thing here, what they call a cell phone, please check me out. Go to YouTube and type in the Chris Bates channel and like and subscribe. Make sure you subscribe because I'm trying to get more people on there. Once again, that's 8 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Central, 5 a.m. on the Pacific time. We don't do that because it let people sleep on the West Coast. I love my people on the West Coast. Sleep your ass off. Don't worry about it. Catch you later. And for those of you who are not familiar with it, it is a Baseline, is a talk show that's informative and somewhat entertaining. Please go tell 5 of your friends and 18 of your enemies that Baseline will be in the air.
The enemies are growing by the year.
Enemies are growing by the day. Thank you, Base. We love you.
Thank you. Have a great weekend. Thanks again.
You too, brother.
And now, the transporter to Hades, the reformer of hooker whores, and the bronze god, the one, the only, the legendary Chris Bates.
I'll say again, had he pinned me against the wall and even offered the elbow to my throat, I would have deserved every bit of it.
Yeah,
because in the PSI radio, my first gig since 04, I was wet behind the ears. I was wet behind the ears.
We have we have those moments. We have to grow up, and we aren't there yet. And then you have to run into someone who's a little bit on the mature side to say, that's not how you're supposed to do life. You got to grow up. So it's understandable.
Yep. That would be the case. We're getting out of here. Have a great day. Have a great weekend. God bless. Remember to make your next move your best move. And always remember, if your dreams don't scare you,
they are simply not big enough.
Dream big, do bigger. We are, and we hope y'all are too. We are out of here. God bless you. We'll see you Monday.